Asempa FM. .7 Asempa FM. Sunny, some 7 minutes after 2, live on Ghana's #1. Asempa 94.7. Many of your sabons so from Yobi. Ma yena munyinara asemu amude mofidie atoha. Yema munyina akwaba. Eba Ekosiisen Jumedi on a Tuesday afternoon, the 29th day of June, 2021. Yatnasi and at 3:30 p.m. and a Jumediano eba area just to make way for our sports team to take over. Now, the live commentary from the Euros. Etumi Abremo. And there are some very interesting matches lined up for you. England and Germany, but later on this evening. And the Monchan so MIA exclusive coverage of the Euros 2020 here on Asempa 94.7 FM, the headquarters of Ghana Sports. But before, sir, your best story, I'm a sports team that take you over. And you were one very big exclusive interview at the MMO. The former energy minister is our guest on the show, and the Honorable Boache Trematin Ajako. Wabekansa wo studio ha that about him say and so in the Ashanti region in Sembebrina Ekoso Ejura. Ejura ye town in the Ashanti region. Na nyoma Ekoso hono eni enyan. Atesa some mobs attack Ghanaian youth are now fix Ghana now activist. Now that's media report and a capture and I'm so my brand here no ashrenenkwa. Some youth in the town took to the streets as shetai and the say police near soldier for akwa ho ama etututu bi akoso ewo would pick a very quick report from Ejura Ede Abremu Yiria na yene honorable Boache Trematin Ajako, former energy minister Etumi Edi Enkomo. Enti da masemu amoshe on Facebook Live. Good afternoon and welcome. Monso amoshe YouTube Live. Eda munyana ase. Muama joining on Twitter. Your handle at Asempa 947 _FM at Asempa 947 _FM. Oko Facebook. You search for Asempa 94.7 FM on Facebook or Instagram. So Asempa 94.7 FM. Let's stay interactive. Yeah, WhatsApp line here 0548 955 947 0548 955 947. Mamina production team nasi Dominic Kisi Yeboa Nana Chumberema Jackson or saying Tiamoa Yawo Eric Oparebe befriend DJ Yayo and a Queen Star in Japan. So they make up the production team of Ekosiisen saying 10 minutes after 2. Good afternoon and welcome to Ghana's biggest and the most authoritative political, social, current affairs talk show, the multiple award-winning late afternoon political talk show. Yes, sponsors Agbeve Herbal Center, Momo Milk, Yara Ghana, and a Las Palmas Food Center. Sound so any EcoBank Ghana, Awake Purified Drinking Water, Rockstars Roofing Systems, and an Aquataps Purification Tablet. Omoboy near the Ekosiisen Ebremo. Now, you having insecticide spray and coil, and a food, HEPA Plus mixture, Consolidated Bank of Ghana, and a Mutlu battery, or say quality forever. Franco Trading Enterprise, so and a boa for the Castrol, or say it's more than just oil, it's liquid engineering. Your TCL, the creative life, dependable herbal, omona de Adom Malakio, Aba Jaso, Monso Boy, Papa, and your Global Lighting Center Limited, and Kania Pafie, or Monso Boy, and the Ekosiisen Jumediano. Ebremwinti yeramunyinara ase se mokoswa etie every weekday on this dial Asempa 94.7 FM. We say greetings Obi, please help me sympathize with Honorable Ebenezer Nina Nate on the sudden demise of his mom. Okay, his mom passed on yesterday. May God keep you, Honorable, in his bosom. Okay, in his embraces in these difficult times, and give you the comfort and peace you seek. Once again, have my deepest condolences. We are with you through thick and thin. Fieron, Mataheko, and on the way about. We say Obi, listening to you live from Secondary with the Regional Director of Youth Employment Agency, Mr. Yao Amwabin Achampong, Aki in a Fia constituency, and on the way up praying. Let me get onto the phone lines now. Meaning Komoto Emrana, Honorable Latinas Yenshe and Komono Asie. Erastus Asari Donko, Ewa Homanos reporting to us live from Ejora. Erastus Akwabana Pom to saying.
Adominia.
Fantastic. Now, me just say Ejora enye bokoba. Den na ekoso samremo.
Samre me no ka say de kum aidin kakra. Samre yo Ejora Hospital na animo. Nipa na swachi. Be sima be se biasa ni de na edom a wa ha no. Na no de. Accident and emergency no inside ho na edom a ejina kwan na no ene omo abawura dem ho. Omumu nipa na ebi ato ebi susu nipa na da wumpa so ne omo buafu omo gina bonten bebrebe tina doctors ni nya kwan enye djuma na etwe na boys no ye say omo fa amu no ema omo na muslimi tradition mu no omo fa nko no omo nko sisi no omo nko si na eno eye yi kakra na doctor no medical superintendent no pese one prosifo ekle ansana or their mom but ono actually be say sima be say numu afi oye course bi we no release body no mom eti omo the body ni free ha call no na ma edom ni bi edi body na ti call eti ama sisi am no ka say ha edom the swati ewo enim ha but still the youth no dodo na titi omo moto so ha binum esa kwan ho a ni omo kan say enya de ebetwa ebisa ye kum bi aka ho na de ene omo so
okay.
Now, the property,
Erasmus, my main kai etie for 8 years, and maybe I want to send Sembi because we draw youth, Nebuefu, but I artisem unya videos, Nibi and share. Erasmus Adaro, my Ensaka exclusive videos from Ejra, Obeshedi youth, ne Ebubu Amanfo kiosks, any idea, SON and Sour Catcher. These are very, very bizarre scenes. Now we can say ebi ewuaka ho ne anim say one kaka bi na ahwene nkwa through mob attacks bi na ene nso nipa bi wasen ewu.
And say me do come back na me kire oni a edisa o ye kire no efi asia sa we friend kasai no o ye social media activist o sa MPP ni e wa ha I just a nipa do na nim no sa na omo chese bia bibin koso wa ha hospital yin sinwie ana niema en koso yi e wa ha na otwitwa ho pictures no dia toto social media o ye advocacy sa ban emra mehe na chi dom ni ade adom me develop adwaman na eno no na nipa ni bi susu se enane nansa emimfo bi koto hye no so oni fie e de niema hwehwe ni trim ama Adam so ama o hwere ne nkwa awo konfano cha ya resabia etu omote se wo wu no eno na sparke sa oyeni ni oye kire enom ni ade ama 14 time gonti ba na sekan no ma ade aze enra no demonstration ni fia enra no na de ebepie na no ye ebedru ha no na afi omo gada edom no ye bi kukura sekan bi kukura ma ni ade a omo ye oye kire ewo Asempa ani nyina ne se omo so omo bonyo so se ni papa no eye no ade a eboa ema omo efise omo hu ne se oyobi a o ka omo haw achira ban na ban atimi ababoa omo nti omo hu the reason why was say nipa bi etimi koto hye no so e wo ne fie ekum no eno nti omo pe justice me kire mu kire omo se prosifo ayehwehwemu achi nipa mienu na eno enye justice ema omo se baabi eno de omo nti na omo so nye prosifo ni ni e wa ha eno nti omo de ni omo hwe ne se the abain bebem na the right justice almost prepare almost ebeka eti omo nenam emontene so amo twimumume omo shitai ye koyenim no drew baby MPP omabo encheda nya dan eye I say kiosk no my recte and omo dia MPP for meeting place omo akasa kobubu no etwetwo fom enti omo free ho omo call manim kakra no kwansi na ye hu se na edi omanim ni ehun se soja for enso am kukwatu ɛna saa police for car kɛse a ɛto nsuhyeɛ no water cannon vehicle no baako di ɔmo anim ɛna sojafoɔ no bɛyɛ sɛ 9 edi anim na mmiɛnsa ɛwɔ akyiri ɛna ɔmo start sɛ ɔmo ma warning shots ɔmo tutu no hwɛ wiem eti meka kyerɛ me nipa no ogyina me nkyɛn no sɛ ɔmo yɛn firi hɔ fi sɛ anhwɛ a na sɛ nea ɔmo tututuo ne ba no anhwɛ a na ebi afa fam eti yɛn yɛ kɔforo mosque bi wɔ ɔmo esi soro ne wie nti yɛ kɔforo abrosan no kɔgyina soro ɛhɔ na ne yɛyɛ report no so ɛna boy baako a ɔno yɛ baeɛ no na boys no pɛ sɛ ɔmo attack yɛn ne ade nti ɔno na yɛ boy ho ban a formal ring around us ɔne guy baako ɔmo ka ho ɛna ɔmo di akyi baabi a bɛkɔ bi asɛm obi ɛmfa ne nsa nkaeɛ eti meka sɛ yɛmfiri hɔ ne yɛmforo soro no mahu baabi a ɔno faeɛ but akyire yi ɛna mehu sɛ tuo aka no ɛwɔ aseɛ ɔmo atutuo no abɔ no wɔ aseɛ hɔ a ɔda mogyam ɛwɔ aseɛ hɔ yɛgyina hɔ na ne hu sɛ ɔmo asa fire directly ɛno sogyani no obu nkotodwe ɛna ɔde de tuo no kyerɛ crowd no hu sɛ fire ayɛ na baako nso so asa atɔ fam ɛwɔ yɛnim hɔ eti ne mogya ne ade agu baabi a abrosan yɛn wɔ so no n'aseɛ hɔ na nya asɛm ketewa ɛna ɔmo tam ne to ɔmo kɔ ho na ɔmo de no ɛkɔ eti ɛma adɔm no ɔmo a wɔyɛ nsa nifa no ɛhwetee na wɔn mu nso hweteeɛ na ɔmo nso akɔ group wɔ the other end na sojafoɔ no dan ɔmo ani kɔ hɔ ɔmo fire afei na ɔmo fire tuo no hwɛ wiem saa ɛna ɔmo de kɔ ɛna ɔmo de firi scene no koraa kɔɛ kyerɛkyerɛ a yɛn yɛ si fam no a yɛbaa yɛbɛhwehwɛ ɔmo mmienu ɔmo awu ne ehu sɛ tuo no ka bi ɛka ho a bɛyɛ sɛ nipa bɛyɛ sɛ ɛnan nso tuo no keka ɔmo a yɛde ɔmo aba adwira hospital ha nti mmienu no deɛ ɔmo afiri ɛyɛ saa aberanteɛ no a na ɔbɔ yɛn ho ban no ɔno tuo no ɛka no ne ti ama ɔno wahwere ne nkwa ɛna baako a ɔno nso yɛhu sɛ tuo no ka no wɔ anim ɔno nso ahwere ne nkwa ɔmo aka no deɛ Sammy, Dr. Ford,
okay, Erastus, I think these are really good videos. I mean, say mujina baby na munya. Enti wa pese wuhu when soldier for now arrive, you almost started shooting into the crowd. No, these are live videos of a soldier for now air to you into the crowd. I want to believe say we ni been a nam soma ebino meshe won kwa oba Facebook Asempa 94.7 FM. You would see these videos and said ya wokano nipa mienu ena ene wahwe won kwa aka kaka na ho na just say ye ka nipa ewu akwa emiensa, right?
They say nipa ewu ni emienu. Yeah, but nine na samre omo gina owu ni nkwankwanta omo wo hospital a doctor for gina omo so tenten. Na mienu de omo finti wa ha omo nipa na ewu ye de ma omo duru omo hu amu na omo etete toy omo mienu so eka ho a ye he omo.
Okay, inti na je uyi kaka si nchen a nipa mienu na asan yewu, right?
We kasa free nchen nipa mienu ana ewu ne asojafo na ekum.
Okay. Enti ena 4 so and I say 2 are still injured and in critical condition.
4 are in critical condition and 9.
Oh, and 9
omo nyina tuo akeka omo baby baako and stream but in the stream don pay nyina doctors lecture say split bubu ayam enam na tete wa chiri sa anti ono eda ha na baako so kan mfe baako so wo ha keka mbe go me 9 and omo hospital ha here.
Meaning say soldier no they fired real bullets and rubber bullets be no motor
nia shells na ya sesa ene nia manfo asesa wa ha dia betre no de it doesn't look like rubber bullet ni na a live bullet.
Hey, and they are some and because me share videos ne dia na the youth no epie ba bonten pa ba ko me hu se obi a wawu no maso no da bibi so da youth ni bi kon
ono na omo shoot no enim ho.
Oh,
you so omo shoot no enim no me ni feel say am so omo tutu abono ana ba ko no so ono so no gira brosana e te so na se ono na meka se no boy ho ban no ono so tuo no e ka no e wa se o ti edru ba bi no na fe tuo no omo fire directly
me ba shells na e da obi nsem na matwa no eno no mo de ba be kire wo no hu
I they be Google form almost sabibre.
These ones look like real bullet too. Of course, I mean that's layman opinion. The idea no. But I don't know what the police would say. But these look like real bullet. sad. It is see another youth no at disperse. Sisi omu ni kwan ni so bio.
They say omu nyina disperse omu de amunu mienu ekọ I understand say omu kwa akoye wufusom ama omu na omu kusie time Muslim tradition no enti omu kọ edom no bi so da so ewo hospital na ni ma ho na gina sisi bi tete moto so na ade wa ha bi so gina ha omu ewa ha ebi so enam lorry kwan ho adura main street no eho ejafe ni epese ekọ babia omu ye ufusumama mienu no me akọhe ne ekoso but yenya na ntie se youth no se omu siewia omu behia na omu ahwe ne omu baye efi ene eko.
What community is a Jura like? Nipa Bemuna predominant Lomoe Jura what is saying?
Mekasa predominantly a Jura Nordness and the Dawson service for and the Dawson Ewaha. Omo farming Mekas almost a queer. Nti dodona ye kwia mu dudua no ba yere no ya de ade de haya na ni nyina firi
eraso me pacho ma memfa we ntwem say I think you had access to the hospital wards no be hwe omo ana e prepra no e bi de da form this is terrible e ba kun ya ye na nim ntome ye de wahwe ne nkwa no
mienu a hu say ba ko da stretcher so ba ko so da form I de ntoma akata o mani omo mahwe omo nkwa omo akanso hu say bi eche bed so a obunam bed ne so ono so tuo no e kan sre etete ne sre nam na sa ne dompe no ono so e wo ne bi so deda e ho a ye gina omo so ententene enti video a wo hwe e wo
Ekosiise On
Facebook
Asempa
Asempa Facebook page no eye hospital inside accident and emergency center inside ho mra ye do omo e ba ho no
This is really bad. And now we can a Jura Hawaii hositi any nipa e wo hono me pa so to no so my na yenhwe.
Me pa to sabrebi.
Yeah, now we can a Jura nipa predominantly omo ho any ade no.
Predominantly ha sabi shrimfo na doso awo ha omo do Ashanti for ni other tribes awo ha. And so omo adwuma omo ye na ekua omu dudua no baye no ni ade eton o hwe abayere no ni ade de ha na dodo na so efiri enti ha manfra for ewa ha na o hwe senia youth da wa no dodo na ye omu a mrante wa omu age no be say 320 echo 30 eno na 35 dodo na at least omu amahu no age bracket no sa na tie no mani adin yi pa na ha so no nyama hu sesi a ne se eba MPP NDC a ta manyosam no wo soro e wa ha yi pa na so omote omo ho asenti no ebi aware obi MPP ni aware NDC ni no ni ade nti ama omote yi a eno mfa ntokwa bia emma a omo eti ne yi mu pa sa branch a ye ka ne ho asenti ka sai ono oye MPP ni ma pa sa ne omo ka kire no ha no na mum almost say niema bi wo ho a ono na ninye ho se puntuo a wo adwura niema bi a odwen se e wo se ekoyi na enkoyi enti e wo sa ban ti nani ehwe no da na koma so a ofitwa ho mfonni na o de atoto to social media sa ban mehwe emmo a mo ka se de bo no enkoyi to mo mra mehwe no mo fa niema to tuyi eno ne ade ano wo ye to na believe se omo dwen se sa de na ano wo ye a omo no to them na boa omo if it's almost or count masama momo. Now who the reason why I was a Sadia na no etimi MOB bufu to the extent or Bobo run if ye adding Yama Kobo Kuno. And don't Amado na bufu a mountain.
A Brantian because I've read media reports that say fix Ghana now activist sanity.
Minya sa confirmation no say or a member of Fix Ghana, but now no. Fix Ghana niema omode to social media no ebi pepe ntu betimi aka na sa say Fix Ghana ideology na say nia omugina ho emma no eno omugidi a ono so twen say ne mpotam adwura no niema bibira to sini a e wo say aban eba no wote nani ebehwe ana say bosha ban share no ontimi wie mu sa na amafo ka wa se no e no dira so a se hospital no dwen se ye ka se ebesi ye nsi a na wakotutwa ho mfoni dia ba social media no e chese mpanyinfo mra no ma fixe sa de no eti ye nyanya official yi bi se bia or member of Face Ghana they mo ni amafo kan se mputudwuma wo adjura ho hia no ye eni nyema ankoyi e wa ban no ho hia no ono akasa ya MPP ni nti no ade a otwitwa de to social media mpanyinfo ni bi akache ne pense party no fi nti wonyai na wenyai ti omo gidi se no na nipa bi ndam so omo de akokunu a amasa me youth no omani etuato
nsem okay and ono ni ngofo ekunu no police watch bi
enra police for the babontin say omachi nipa mienu efa sa ni wo na owuye no eho sa communication no free Fantamantem ha police and a buy enti emergency say eno any communication about bontin officially from police say omachi nipa mienu but youth now are not say omonje no ntum na omonje say police for no any MC or had na come triabo mu a omo epeso omo esanwa egu omani enti omo de omo nte say ya chi obi a na omonje say nipa na share omo send we are where we almost understand the messages so omo be kunu omo be bono omo be ni say no omo dwen say police for na MC no na share chira omo yes ade no omo nyi ni say police for be hu bibia so omo no pesa ban bam na omo hu say justice is being done asa na omo bo ato omo ye
Rastos mayenasi bibiania will come back to you why
yeah,
that's a pan. I mean, Rastos Asari Donko reporting to us live from Ejura in the Ashanti region. And Muhu Enti exclusive videos are the Sunday yin so and the yinina at the Amamono. Very, very, very terrible scenes. In the Winnie Kakano, Antimoa, Mobezemuhu Brantia Kakano, and Nimno Jackson Abon Homewarding. We've got one of his live videos or recorded from the Ejura township, no. Yensa cancer videos. Nimiduba behuna, yes, middle-aged man, sad. But was training Kwenona as part of this agitation on the street of Ejura. Ma Yemra back in studio. Said them kind the Honorable Boache Trematin Jakon, Atanase, former energy minister of the Republic of Ghana. Honorable Akwaba na pom to saying.
Namia Daruma, me hu ye pa.
Ahoden wo ho.
Papa.
Me just uti studio uti report free Ejura by somebody was say free Ashanti region. This should be worrying development for you, meboa.
Me hu adwiri me akasa. And not because of Masi free Ashanti region. Me papa free Jamasi.
Oh, okay.
Jamasi ni adwira so de Ebeng. In fact, Masifo bisu me Jamasifo no, omo asifo bisu eware adwira.
Oh, okay.
Na odi no to nchen a Ghana this year na ahwere won kwa. And I will say again needless. Be afraid be fire discipline. So we a prosi and now we a soldier. Na a domo who face no omo nye armed. You don't fire into them, even with rubber bullets. Because you see, at a certain distance, rubber bullets can be lethal. Mentiasie me hu commander kura obetimi ama orders say wa wu create you na obi a okura kuntima a close range, and especially to say okay, you kneel. It means that you want a direct body hit. Obi mentiase na mentiase. Niema because wo kroma yenhwe genyai. Say no ebufu a ewo aman mu ha. Particularly ye mrante ne ye mabawa no. Say ye tokoso sa ebejinsem. Ebia obehe na nya political cry. Mere frustration. Na mrante so de enyina ye twem hoda. Sa ebufuo ba mrante mu a ehu ntina mpanyibu bebi se wo hwe apapa hwe kwai yire a ukontokwa mpre no Wahwe ne yere abrante wahwe ne yere.
Yeah.
Oba ono
so the Obabeko.
yes. Ebufua ewo mrante, we should be careful. I don't like what I hear at all. I don't see what justification there could be for
On
this.
Asempa FM.
But a fairness, regional minister in a pamphor nyina enko hwe na nya adwobre. Said near beya because one wie wufo som no ne ekosie nearby. Echira so wo ho.
Yeah.
Unim nearby.
Yeah.
Enti o se animu anadru yara. Kasa because o se ne beya abotoye mu ebeba na china enkoti nkensen enkofa baby bi.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and we praise the regional minister in particular, the head of RECSEC, would move in because youth is more kusie aba already nipa mienu and ahwe won kwa and 9 are in critical condition at hospital. Enti omonhwe ema abotoyem into me emra. The pictures and the videos from the place doesn't really look good. Enti omonhwe moayen Ekosiisen so ni Asempa 94.7 FM, and one of the issues in so are generating huge discussion in our country recently. Judgment dead ruling a buyer arbitration in the UK. Akwakwa fan sembe na aba. Honorable Mekaisa in opposition before 2016 elections, no. Your party and now you're one of the most vociferous people in your party, and now Kasa Efa, John Romani Mahama Amamu, and especially in the energy sector.
Yes.
And you had cause to complain about some of the power purchase agreements are buying on Eddie Ekomo. Mu take over the reins of power. Our man you as the energy minister, no. What was the situation? You have to say the then government put it together a committee to review PPSR or the entire. Was that true? Say about two committee be or no more year Juma. And what did you do to that committee? Not saying an city.
Yo, Obi, me dasi mi chiawo eni wetifu na. And some no ya can be brave.
Okay.
Na nsana no. Let me be emphatic. The emitted ni na na jakwa kutwo binum contract munu abo mainka. Let me state without equivocation. Me bo achichire matin jako. Mini to me ana opebi edi etwa obi contract mu. And this said the meeting fee and I'm meeting office. And a menisa obi and I miss wo contract me trip and sada. Said you no, and sada. Said you she says you what opposition. A buying signing a lot of power purchase agreements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 are reviews. They cover review and cover yes. 2012, Jacobson, Sempower. 2013, Amandi. 2014, Rotan, Marinos, Astro, Crispod, Sunon, Car Power. 2015, AXA, CAT, GPGC. 2016, Cox, ASG, and Early Power.
Okay.
What share enyinam ahoɔden a first of all said the ebeya mfutra nipa etugu nipa ni no we have to go into some definitions. Power purchase agreement again a agreement omo generate power ene omo top power a sign se meto ana meton power. So no.
Yes.
Normal Toma distribution companies to say ECG. And now are buying direct. And now omutimi Toma big companies. Direct companies to say mines. And now omutimi sign Toma other generators. A be a generator be one home so. But so bet on one baka kusi from otimito free bill. And to unya who say yes, a power purchase agreement be a no one sem. Any eka. Ne egua hodwo mienu. Take and pay, or take or pay. take and pay no. So no. And no yɛmfa ne sɛ obi me ka kyerɛ wo sɛ mehia nsuo na maka kyerɛ wo sɛ fa wo tanka ebesi hɔ wode tanka ne besi hɔ a yɛfrɛ biribi capacity charge wode tanka na besi hɔ no a mede wo ɛna sɛ yɛ take and pay a apart from saa capacity charge no sɛ mebu nsuo no a ɛna metua wo ka maamu a mentua wo ka take or pay no ɔde bɛsi hɔ no a no ɔde wo ɛna ɔse mɛ supply wo a certain amount of power
yes
sɛ wotumi gyi ne nyinaa sɛ woantumi anyi ne nyinaa deɛ wɔ contract mu no ɛne na wotua ɛnyɛ deɛ wobuyɛ no so it is contract versus actual.
Yes.
Enti so this water tank ade besi ho no. Sa wo grawa ye ma na enti wenti mi amu a. Still
e wo so utia. Once a tank na bad.
Aba no e wo so utia. Na ye wo opposition. Ye kan say niema no a contractor mo sign no. E do so e be brodi hia so. Mikra 2017 electricity supply plan. Electricity supply plan is generated by Energy Commission. 2017, as at December 2017, projected system demand. There's a system near here 2,384 megawatts.
Yes.
Total available generation supply 2,758, and this includes your reserve margin of 16%.
At the time, there is 16%. Reserve margin.
Reserve margin is shifted.
Okay.
There's nothing like one reserve margin throughout. Even month to month, reserve margin to be shifted. Into after December, no, including a reserve margin, there was a surplus of 374 megawatts. And to who sign biaka hoa, no one say, a yedaya obebrus.
Yes.
Already, 2017, even though we had doom source coming to an end, we had excess capacity. Tiyenye decided, say, ya ba. A sign say, a ka e bemunity. Ya ba, ye beshe. A kwankura ye faswa ye betimi etwa saade no so excess capacity no ma ekano eswati anafrio.
Okay, it is a mete ase up to now not just say the reserve margin no a system no in here reserve margin.
Yeah, every
system you need it.
You need it.
Anything outside the reserve margin excess power which you don't necessarily need.
No. Ebino mo chirase ese oye wo system demand wi a ansa no akote excess ansa no akote reserve margin. That is not the case. Reserve margin is calculated as part of your needs because
Asempa FM.
So no. Reserve margin any protected system no. Enti mo ntimi can say demand near supply near na wi a afi na wo kohwehwe reserve margin. Reserve margin is calculated as part of your needs.
But is it the case say me reserve margin we are say they work anything outside of that excess. But that excess no you cannot have any need or any use for it.
You see demand and supply. Is no edge.
Yes. Yes.
Look, excess capacity by itself. Enya de boni, especially say you take and pay.
Okay.
Enya de boni.
Okay.
But take or pay is see wha uni use utiano. Woso no utu sreji dama. And only asem. Every system. So look, say ni nyina ko ye take and pay. And now what excess of 500 megawatts. So what? You are not paying for it. They will try capacity.
Yes.
But you are not paying energy charge. The difference between contract versus actual. You're not paying that. So no. 374. na excess capacity a utia ho.
Okay.
All right. Na ye bae no. We met when we were in opposition. We knew say Finance Minister Setekpe was also talking about this. Into me bae no. I saw situations where notes where there were indications, and in fact, when we reconstituted, let me state it this way: I decided that we should reconstitute this committee because
a committee now
to review.
Review PPA. No? There was a committee.
Yes, there was a committee already in place.
Which committee was sworn in by who?
Our meeting was sworn in by the Chief Director for Power on October 4th, 2016.
October 4th, 2016. And a Chief Director. Our Power Ministry.
Yes.
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 Ekosiisen
And you know, and you can go to. This is how. In the new report now, this is what it states. ECG has executed a number of PPAs, and it is in the process of negotiating additional PPAs for purchase of power. However, it has been observed that the implementation of some of these PPAs may result in excess contracted capacity, leading to payments of fixed capacity charges for power plants, which may not be required in the short to medium term. The Ministry of Power, acting on the directives of the Office of the President of the Republic of Ghana, constituted an interministerial committee to review the fiscal and legal implications of the power purchase
Asempa
agreement
FM.
executed by Electricity Company of Ghana for the purchase and supply of electrical power from independent power purchases. Even though the ECG had executed PPAs for both conventional and renewable energy, the review as directed by the Ministry of Power focused only on PPAs for conventional thermal projects. This action has become necessary in view of efforts being made by government to ensure that adequate and affordable power is made available to the citizenry. This is in consideration of the need to procure adequate power as and when required and avoid excessive capacity development, which leads to increased capacity charge payments. The committee was inaugurated on 29th September 2016 by the Chief Director of the Ministry of Power and inaugurated on 4th October 2016.
Say, review PPAs.
na
abina sign.
Yes.
At the time, 16 PPAs.
Yes.
16 PPAs.
Yes. In Tienye Baye, no. The question was, yes, yaka. Says ye. So it was not a question of throwing everybody away.
Okay.
We reconstituted the committee.
Committee na share Juma said that no. Must I reconstitute?
Yeah, because I didn't meet any of them. I just saw the notes.
Okay.
So I called Energy Commission, Ahinkra, who is the advisor to the minister.
At the time, not a minister, an advisor.
By law.
Okay. Energy Commission boss.
Energy Commission is the advisor to the Ministry of Energy.
Okay.
To my friend, and I'm saying, look, this MPP, this is what we are looking to do. Let us set the ball rolling.
Asempa FM.
So we a largely institutional representation, not say individuals. Mema kofre we ana or bintimbra, largely institutional. In the end, no, the list is there. You know. The answer na no cry. Answer ye set up committee and to get the ball rolling. The Ministry of Finance had consultants McKinsey to produce a report. The report was called Strengthening the Power Sector in Ghana, Sector Diagnostics and Recommendations, March 2020, 2017. Now, the key recommendation they make, recommendation 3, high number of PPAs signed, which could add to already incurred capacity charges and potentially not be supported by the tariff structure.
Asempa FM.
Recommendations. Then how can Ministry of Energy review and cancel some of these future commitments to prevent excess capacity and capacity charges?
In the McKenzie report.
In the McKenzie report.
Recommendation.
This is the recommendation.
Okay. In the McKenzie Adjumani, so Ministry of Finance and a share almost all money.
Yes.
Okay.
Then also the World Bank stepped in with the energy sector reform report, which was incidentally the final report came in not too long ago. But in the initial consideration, this was a big thing. So no, committee no set it up no. It had 2 subcommittees. One was legal, 2 was fiscal and technical. They almost share a quiet faso a reduce excess capacity charges. A quiet faso
Asempa
energy
FM.
sector na ay more efficient. Na ne nyina mu no so no yeti ase se ope se uyi obi contract free kwan mu a, there are termination costs. And what would those termination costs be?
Ekosiisen On Asempa.
In the amount find it out.
I won't
Part
find
of
it out.
Omojuma
As fine
Omo,
as
you know.
Omojuma.
In the patrol committee, mo year reconstitution of that committee, you know. Now why the chairman?
Energy Commission, and in the person in that position was Dr. Fusua Hinkra.
Dr. Fusua Hinkra. You don't know a chairman of the committee.
Yes.
Mobile 2 committee NDC for put it together. Not on one a chairman.
For a time, the Energy Commission person was Michael Opam. But
Opam.
me buy no
Okay.
ano. Me Michael Opam a year since 2008.
Okay.
To me buy no, I pulled him. No, so retired from Energy Commission.
Okay.
So he was executive secretary then. I pulled him as my technical advisor
At the ministry.
to the ministry.
minister. Okay.
And then
Ahinkra.
Ahinkra then was the executive secretary.
Okay.
We did not pick Ahinkra because he's Professor Dr. Ahinkra. We picked him because he was the executive secretary
Of the Energy Commission.
Energy Commission.
Okay.
One more year, you know. Their estimation was that in 2018, we will need about 3,170 megawatts. And by
Ekosiisen On
2030,
Asempa FM.
we would need about 5,407 megawatts. Now, what PPA is no na ya sign go hono. We were looking in 2018 at 5,633 megawatts.
5,633
33
megawatts.
Yes.
That's by 2030.
2018. 2030, we will need 5,407. But by 2018, no, the near contract was 5,633. In 2030, no crowd. And here's the breakdown. Jacobson, 360. Send Power, 340. That's 2012.
Yes.
700 megawatts. Amundi, 2013, 190 megawatts. 2014, Rotan, Marinos, Astro,
Asempa FM.
Tresport, Sonon Asogli, Car Power, all coming to 2,911. 2015, AXA 370, CAT 300, GPGC 107, Cox 420, ASG 235 megawatts, and Early Power 400 megawatts, making 1,055.
Asempa FM.
And the year can
You know, can in Abomua.
5,633
But this is
megawatts.
just installed capacity. Don't we have to look at rather the available capacity?
Well, the thing is that what you are calculating is dependable capacity.
Okay.
You see, Akosombo Dam Sihui, say 10, 20 megawatts. But any given time, dependable capacity is about 920.
900.
Because
Generally, they are available amount.
dependable.
Dependable, okay.
Because you see, you can't get what you call STP, standard temperature and pressure. You
Yes.
can't get the conditions perfect.
Yes.
For Akosombo to
Asempa
generate
FM.
1029 year no power plant generates 100%. In fact, your calculation, no,
Yes.
we look at around 95.
1995.
All right. In 2 years, this is what is called the nameplate capacity. Plate capacity a tire machine. But as to whether it can generate, it's not. It's about you take about 90%.
Okay. In the rather no, before we take decisions, say, your projections into 2030, I will see any BBC. But by 2018, this is what we have.
Ekosiise On Asempa
If we
FM.
base on this nameplate figure, no, rather than looking at the dependable
But in
capacity,
the in the calculation, you don't use nameplate.
use the dependable.
You use dependable.
And some motion dependable is what still and here will fire.
Yeah, well, look, this 5,000 a year 2030 number.
Okay.
But this is what we had contracted for 2018.
for 2018.
So no. So the report goes on
Asempa FM.
and makes certain recommendations. But before then, you see, Iboni also book no lie. Ebinum aye omo dwen say excess capacity biya ni ho and na cost biya ni ho. Obi, this is the Electricity Market Oversight Panel, EMOP, almost 2019 annual report. EMOP for and share electricity market. They
Yes.
regulate the electricity
Yes.
market. Okay. It's a bit, but let me see.
Asempa FM.
The financial, page 32, excess capacity cost analysis for 2019. The financial burden arising out of the cost of excess electricity generation capacity continues to pose a
Ekosiise On
difficult
Asempa
challenge
FM.
in the Ghana power sector. Excess capacity costs arise because the available generating capacity is in excess of the needs of the entire country. While having excess generation capacity is generally a good operational outcome because it enhances supply adequacy and reliability. It, however, imposes unpleasant financial obligations on the off-takers and consumers
FM.
as it requires them to consume the contracted electrical energy or otherwise pay a specified amount of money, capacity charge, as a penalty. On the other hand, then it goes on. This is what EMOP is saying. Oshe Omo chart na 2019. By 2019, these are the excess capacity costs. January, you have 21.25 million. February, you have
Ekosiise On
14.71
Asempa
million.
FM.
March, you have 11.92. April, 13.24 million. May, 21.25 million. June, 19.14 million. July, 19.93 million. August, 32.1 million. September, 40.12 million. October, 33.31 million. November, 39.48 million. December, 38.53 million. Totaling 304.98 million for 2019 alone.
For just 2019.
For just 2019.
And away excess capacity charges on the 16 PPAs and they are signing as some of them.
All the PPAs.
All the PPAs we
operational.
the ones that were operational.
Operational.
And they are out of 16 and not a saying they operational at the
Well,
time.
I I wouldn't know from the EMOP report.
Okay.
I can research it in. But you see, there is a very interesting. Also, in energy terms, the total electrical energy
Asempa
contracted on take or pay basis from the 6 operating thermal IPPs is estimated at 10,554 gigawatts
Ekosiise
for the
On
year
Asempa
2019.
FM.
Based on the actual electrical energy dispatched by these power plants from January to December 2019, the total unsupplied electricity amounted to 6,400 gigawatts, constituting about 60.7% of the contracted supply. In effect, the 6 power plants supplied only 39.3% of their contracted supply in 2018, which resulted in payment obligations just a 60%. No? They contracted 100%. They only supplied 39.3%, but we were obliged to pay the extra 60.7%.
60%
for mine. You're obliged to pay because a take or pay, and it's contractual. So no, and no one 7 years. You take committee or the report to buy. Almost chair mu. Your business as usual.
Yes.
Says yet now ya nyeshia.
And me pacho, that committee report was submitted to who? Almost submitted
It was submitted to me.
One OJ report.
Yes.
Is it the same report I making rounds?
The same report I make rounds. They mean
the report submitted to you, had the committee members signed, almost signing?
No.
They didn't sign the report? How come?
You see, this is an advisory report. What is the purpose of signing? It came with a letter of transmittal signed by Ofuswahinkra. An advisory committee report. There is no rule, administrative regulation saying who participate in advice was signing. There's nothing like that. A criminal investigation report you may be required to sign, but each committee sets its rules. All the members of the committee, their names and their departments were attached, and there was a letter of transmittal signed by the chair.
Letter of transmittal, it was signed.
Yes,
by the chairman of the committee. Dr. Hinkra.
Yes. And Timentias say, if you don't say the report was not signed and therefore a fake. Some say it was not signed and was fake. On which report did the panel base their investigations and findings and recommendations?
Yeah, the panel claimed the report sent to them was redacted, heavily redacted.
I was not minister then. I'll come to that. So I don't know what was sent to them. I know the report I received, and it had a letter of transmittal signed by the chairman of the committee.
And you can vouch for the authenticity of that report.
Yes. And attached to it were the list of all those who participated. There is no requirement that all those who participated must sign
in an advisory report.
I have been in these capacities for over 30 years.
Asempa FM.
Advisory report. What is the requirement? If I am given an advisory report to a minister, you sign. I mean, that. But if there is an investigative report, I can understand the need to sign. But there must be a transmittal, because you see, Ofuswahinkra cannot walk into my office and just drop the report and go. But there is a transmittal saying, there's a recitation, and he signs into the report.
Transmittal or copy.
I don't have it with me. I don't have it with me.
May memo be where Energy Commission memo just to confirm the membership of SAR committee, to know if the reconstituted one is saying etia. This memo dated 29th August 2017, subject to a membership list of PPA review committee. Also, please find attached for your information and necessary action the membership of the committee set up to review the power purchase agreement of Electricity Company of Ghana. Thanks, Solomon Sapon and Anandi Way as in the memo to the Deputy Director of Finance from the PPO TRD. Also, list of members of the PPA Review Committee: Dr. Alfred Ofuswahinkra, Executive Secretary of the Energy Commission, Chairman; Michael Opam, Ministry of Energy; George Tete, Ministry of Energy; Dr. Joseph Asenso, Ministry of
Finance; yes;
William Sam Apia, Ministry of Energy; Mark Ba, Ghana Great Company;
yes;
Monica Senanu, Ghana Great Company
yes.
Limited; Anthony Blebo, Energy Commission, Solomon Sapon, Energy Commission, Grace Upon, Attorney General's Department, Amele Amatefio, Ministry of Finance, Solomon Ajete, Ministry of Energy, Howard T. Ejay, Ministry of Energy, Leonardo Lamte, Ministry of Energy, Richard Agbotame, Ministry of Energy, Sarah Madabla, Ministry of Energy, Anita Loko, Ministry of Energy, Nuhu Abeka, Ministry of Energy, Ebenezer Baden, Electricity Company of Ghana, Asterix Wanidinho, Cephas Gali, Electricity Company of Ghana, Asterix Wanidinho, Aminu Kadir, ECG, honest Asterix Wanidinho. I said the committee was chaired and hosted by the Energy Commission. Asterix Nature said the ECG's participation in the committee's work was limited to providing information and clarification on certain PPAs.
That is
in the, when it reconstituted.
Yes, that is
committee,
true. And ECG for no, because their documents were being examined,
Yes.
you had to keep them
Okay.
at bay.
Okay.
They would be called upon to provide information,
As and
clarification,
when needed.
as and when needed. They were not sitting in and day out.
Okay.
So-
okay. In the committee reconstituted one in the Amumba reconstituted.
Yes.
You know, in the Omuna submitted report at the
Amami.
and in the report, no more recommendations.
Yes. Yes.
Including terminating some of the PPAs.
Let's take it step by step.
Okay.
There are a number of recommendations they made according to classes. One was all the PPAs that had gone past their long stop date.
Ekosiisen On Asempa
Don't worry
FM.
about them. Egu.
Okay.
You know, if you haven't done your things by your long stop data, you don't have any claim. The second one was those who had gone past financial close. And those who had gone past financial close, you know, there was also nothing you should do about them. Because you can they are very close to doing their projects. There was a second group in their analysis that suggested, say, so we balance supply and demand. We num uchu kwe chira.
Yes.
Uchu kwe chira. That is their commercial operation date. Uchu kwe chira. It will allow you dynamically to change and rebalance the demand and supply. There were a number of them who were pushed back. I think 6 or 8 of them. Some as far back as 2030, 2035.
Mupushi be quite 2035.
Yes, because you see, you are dealing with
Yeah,
SNEP.
country no more.
You see, a Jumana you know, report because CB that one a friend is SNEP,
On
Strategic
Asempa
National
FM.
Energy Plan. And now go to 2035.
Asempa FM.
Into sa wo ya, e was so shakwa animo. Drain shakan, man kon kind.
Yeah.
A bit more why. Okay, mudia mum ya sign mo niema de. Now so baby mujina se say no. Any beer machines are more use in crony bad.
Yes.
Mo pena ye betchi mo akwachiri. There was also a group, I think 3 or 4. The report recommended say who knew fast will be say ye do on become mean kaidino off the top of my head. But 3 or 4 of them, the recommendation was that we should terminate.
Say yincha enumu.
Yeah, we should terminate. But you see, as I said earlier on, when you are terminating, there will be termination costs. Agreed. Now, you know, before I wanted to read something important here. And that is,
Ekosiisen On Asempa FM.
in order to resolve the challenge of overcapacity of plants, Cabinet has approved an arrangement to rationalize the procurement of additional power generation capacity in the short to medium term. Under the Cabinet Rationalization Program, 4 power projects with a total capacity of 1,402 megawatts will be permitted to proceed to achieve commercial operations.
Okay.
But by 2025.
We were committee in the report now. Okay.
David, this is a separate government.
Okay.
This is a separate government document.
Okay.
Government is now reporting on its strategy. 3 power projects with a total of 1,150 will be deferred to achieve COD, commercial operation date, by 2030, while 3 power projects with a total of 692 megawatts will be cancelled outright. This is government accepting recommendations
from the committee. You know.
The committee also realized after in their bid to was that say yet now business as usual in the 13 years of the life of contracts, we will be paying a total the cumulative annual capacity cost savings increased from 1 billion in 2018 to 7.3 billion in 2030. So yet now by 2030 the cumulative capacity charges will be 7.3 billion.
Capacity charges on which of the PPAs?
The ones that we are signing, the ones 16 you're marking.
16 nah.
Yeah,
signing. Okay.
Into what do we do nothing and sit, or do we do certain scenarios? Now scenarios, and they say classifications. And that therefore the savings was 7.3. The savings was 7.3 billion. So we share details, engineering details or analytics now. The total capacity gross was 7.6 something. And termination charges are almost so calculated, Said so ultimately negotiating according to plan. It will cost you almost 600 million. Picking what will be our Asempa. So the net would be 7.6, 7.6 something, minus the 580 with your outright, brings you to a savings of about 7.2 and change. These were the recommendations
from the Ahinkra committee.
Came to me.
It was a report.
And then the first thing was to do a cabinet information paper. Information paper
based on report.
And supply cabinet with copies of the report. Say a Juma Modishay and Sano. Recommendations happening. So you do a cabinet information paper. Later on, we went through the cabinet subcommittee on the economy, chaired by Mr. Osafo.
Okay,
they approved the report and its recommendations. And they call cabinet.
Okay,
full cabinet
and Kasa.
There was a consideration, a discussion back and forth. The report was fine. Then the president said, "Say, Jenfa report no any recommendations in Enco Dine Attorney General. On a buying lawyer.
But in your cabinet information paper, one Kasa personally, one for opinions and say, okay, the recommendations are breme, but I'm sure.
No. You see,
just conveyor belt.
Debbie. We are why.
Some minister in charge of the
sector.
But
you will have an opportunity to discuss it at the economic subcommittee of cabinet.
Okay.
And also full cabinet.
Okay.
You have the opportunity.
In the opinion doesn't matter in that information
paper. You are just providing information as to what you have received
from the committee.
I will not upend the committee by superimposing my me in fact the reporter bro. Now do the echo count. Maybe report the bro. A drew sub-cabinet committee no. Akwenya wo ho abeka de also.
Yes. Yes.
A drew cabinet so akwenya wo ho a also kan de obeka. Enti nye information paper mu na.
And would
so the unsem
okay, in the report almost submit no. They recommended say 3 PPAs be and now 4.
Three.
3 should be terminated.
Yes.
I would want to believe, say, OJ report, now that's our recommendations, the woman. You had also earlier on apprised yourself of the details of those PPAs.
Yes. Yes.
Especially our 3 PPAs.
Yes.
In your own estimation and understanding, no, did you also think, say, based on information after perusing the
Based on the information I had, I didn't have any problems with their cancellation.
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay. And you thought, sir, it was the right thing to
It
do.
was the right thing to do.
Terminate
Look,
them.
you are paying 560 million to save yourself 7 billion. What big argument is that?
Yeah, but the 560 million, was it on just the 3 or all the contracts signed?
Largely on the 3, because you see, a binamwa will push you almost backwards. No? There could be costs. In the report, they have a table of every associated cost. In fact,
Ekosiisen On
memoir
Asempa.
make us enkedamenim ha baby. There is an associated cost for every action that was going to be taken by the action
Okay.
the committee.
Okay.
Enti Attorney General. The Attorney General then comes back to say they largely agree with the recommendations, save certain legal issues that they raised.
Okay.
And were incorporated in there.
And Attorney General also the Omo report, no, April.
Yes.
Okay.
Omo de Breme, which I then also took to cabinet with the maybe the report PPAs in Ekoma, apart from PPA review committee. No, yeah, the power purchase agreement say reviewing.
Yes.
So command Attorney General.
The primary agreement.
Yes, no, yeah, didn't command Attorney General.
Okay.
So that they would see the source document themselves and not just follow the PPA review committee. So almost
Okay. The apart from committee report, no, almost you had the benefit of perusing the primary,
the primary
agreement.
agreement.
Okay.
Now, when
Okay.
they brought back all of that with their recommendations or their opinion, then I resubmitted to cabinet.
Attorney General.
Attorney General
Yeah, no.
and the PPA report.
Yes.
I resubmitted
Need
all
you
of
to
it
cabinet.
to cabinet.
Okay.
And it was discussed extensively. We all made our inputs. Then cabinet approved.
And cabinet approved the recommendations of the Attorney General.
No, the recommendations of because the recommendation, Attorney General recommendation is an advisory.
Yes.
So cabinet, when it approved the PPA review committee
report.
No. Once it was approved, cabinet secretary then writes to me as sector minister with the citations that blah 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 blah. You are therefore to see to the implementation of the recommendations as approved.
As approved.
As approved. So I then advise the parties. First, notification to Finance Attorney General say, based on the approval, we are going to do this. Then to the counterparty to the agreements, which is ECG. Say ECG, because government has approved these the
report from the committee,
you are supposed to take these actions to implement the provisions of them. Only GPGC and an ECG contract.
Okay.
That was
ECG off taker.
No,
for GPGC.
Government of Ghana.
Government of Ghana.
Yes, through the Ministry of Energy, of Power
at the time.
At the time, so the Ministry of Power having signed is succeeding a Ministry of Energy. No, now we're saying you sure to inform them say cabinet decision taken. Consequences in the Attorney General any finance will come, well, we will be negotiating. Because that is the process. Now, Matisse Binumo can say, man, in the letter, no say excess capacity. And then a man for no unshame.
And no unshame. Meba and no, I mean, kind way amount share for your confirmation. Where the Attorney General's Department and Ministry of Justice. And this is dated 28th August 2017. And it's sent to the Ministry of Energy, Ministry Accra. Attention, Honorable Boachie Jakon, dear colleague, Power Purchase Agreement Review. Introduction, Eka say, I refer to the decision of Cabinet at the 13th meeting of 20th July 2017, whereby you were to submit to my office some power purchase agreement for review to enable Cabinet make a decision on a memorandum that had been submitted for approval. I also refer the 14 PPA submitted under cover of 3 separate letters dated 24th, 25th, and 27th July 2017, respectively, requesting for advice under the following categories. Into PPAs to proceed with no modification, PPAs to be modified, deferment to 2025, PPAs to be deferred beyond 2025, and PPAs for termination. The agreements were accompanied by the Cabinet Memorandum. It goes on and on. Final report on the review of power purchase agreements to the Electricity Company of Ghana, and a breakdown of the PPAs in the various categories is as follows. A listed breakdown as was contained in the committee's report. In Oshe IV now, PPAs to be terminated. 1. ASG Ghana Limited.
Yes.
B. Crisport Power Ghana Limited. And C. GPGC Limited. When the 3 PPAs are committee recommended say omu inchem inti aging so etoko so kind. I think onon so no set up on one committee to review. In the onon so committee, Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice Gloria Efua Akofo, Miss. Honorable Deputy Attorney General Godfrey Yebo Adame, Solicitor General Helen A.A. Ziwu, Chief State Attorney Mrs. Patience Edumwa Late, Private Legal Practitioner Akoto Ampao, Principal State Attorney Grace Opon Dolphy, Director of Energy Division Mrs. Pearl Akiwuni Srebo. Yes. Assistant State Attorney Miss Sharon Owu, Personal Assistant to the Attorney General Mrs. Penina A. Dankwa. Enti Safoi and forming the membership of the committee, Attorney General to put it together to peruse all the agreements and review committee, reporter or more dema also forward and the kokoma won. Enti ewie and in their recommendations among sunya bibi kafa in the they pick every PPA. And your more advice by. So we share the ones in the PPAs to be terminated. Crisport there or more your margin chair by Ansana GPGC Limited, because any subject of controversy is here. Omoka say the agreement was executed on the 3rd of June 2015 for a term of 4 years, starting from an original COD of 2018. The buyer proposes to terminate the agreement, and in this case, the buyer, government of Ghana.
Yes.
Good. This is an emergency power purchase agreement. The total cost of this project is implemented. If implemented, would result in an estimated total cost of $115,480,000 United States dollars, with its attendant high tariff. The production and supply of energy in Ghana is subject to the following. A license. And essentially, they make the point, say, license and a company here to operate na omuni sa license nibi. 2. Permit. By an established policy of the Energy Commission, a party is required to acquire siting and construction permit from the Commission before it can begin construction and installation of a plant for the production and supply of energy. And Sana and Anonso Amoka say, although the seller has commenced construction on site, Enquiries from the Energy Commission reveal that the seller has not obtained the requisite siting and construction permit. The seller's construction activities are accordingly illegal. C. Used plant prohibition. Contrary to established Energy Commission policy, the seller's plant is a used one, purchased in 2005. This is born out of Section 3AII of the agreement, and they quote those portions of conditions precedent in the agreement. In the announcement, the now more can you say plant nankasa no enye brand new. In the enough basis for the contract to be terminated. One of the
advice was.
The Attorney General advice was. In the light of the above, not just say license, no siting permit, no, and all of those, no. It is advised that the buyer has the right to lawfully terminate the agreement on the following grounds: A. Illegality for want of capacity of the seller to enter into a PPA. B. Failure to obtain siting and construction permit. C. Installation of used plant contrary to policy. And D. Failure on the part of the seller to fulfill its condition precedent and conditions subsequent. Should the buyer terminate the agreement on the ground of failure to fulfill CPs and conditions subsequent, it is entitled to early termination payment under clause 25 of the agreement. Honorable, my question is, what can say you also believed terminating those three contracts was the right thing to do?
Yes.
Who believe not based on some factors and also some other factors?
Well, all other, including these factors, because you see, remember that me engineer.
On Asempa
Me I'm a banker in the first order.
Yes.
So I have to rely on those with the capacity to advise. Oh yeah, minister, it doesn't mean you know everything.
Yes.
So I have talked to Energy Commission. This is their opinion on the matter. I've talked to Attorney General. This is the opinion on the matter. ECG itself at the Boachapia was laboring on excess capacity, under excess capacity. So in talking to a whole host of actors and players,
Yes.
and discussing the details and the pertinent details, I was of the opinion, in conclusion, that these are the right steps to take.
To cancel this and the other two contracts.
Yes, and given the termination cost and benefit analysis as was presented to me, when you are doing these things, cost benefit is your first step.
And a good point. The cost benefit not a candidate.
The
What
cost
are the figures?
The cost benefit said, there is a termination, what is called the verifiable termination costs of 18 million. You see, estimated cost of excess capacity. And for each of them, it gives you the associated costs.
Yes.
For GPGC, the associated cost was 18 million.
18 million a year.
No.
Okay.
Cost of cancelling PPA.
Ultra PPA anymore.
18 million.
Yeah, bet you 18 million.
18 million.
Dollars.
Yes.
To the company.
Excess capacity for the 4 years of duration was 25 million a year.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it means to say the associated cost as presented to us of 18 million is under the excess capacity cost for 1 year.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So if you are doing cost benefit and you see these figures, what other conclusions do you come to?
Yeah, and you conclude, say, 18
18, no, and get it out of the way.
And that was your thinking in Tia now free said no, then we have to after satisfying yourself with our figures, you then came to the conclusion, say as minister, cancelling this will be the right thing to do.
I agreed.
You agreed.
Agreed
with all the advice.
Yes, and in cabinet I also agreed. But you see, so even if I disagree,
yes,
now at the cabinet and the rest of cabinet agrees.
Yeah,
takes
it's
a
binding
different-
on you.
It's binding on me.
Of course.
Am I supposed to say, sir, because I disagreed in cabinet, directives is free cabinet secretary who by minister?
Dabi, you cannot say that.
You cannot say that.
But in this instance, no, you agreed with cabinet.
Yes, I did.
Good. Into 18 million to cancel. Say young canceller, we pay excess capacity of 24 million per year for 4 years.
Yes.
Fantastic. Into the decision was taken, say young cancel, based on advice, ni bibia a buyer. Were we also certain, based on investigations, because I'm sure factors are Attorney General Gina, so the advice, because those factors also inform me the kind of letter, termination letter, I also throw them
Yes.
company, you know, because you listed Neomenti Gina, so and they are terminated contracts, you know, and all of the reasons the AG gave, you know, were also
Yes.
in your letter. Say Omunya siting permit, Omuni license from Energy Commission, plant our mode buy, you know, where for the want of a better word, no old.
Oh, yes.
Good.
Ekosiisen On
Fast
Asempa
forward
FM.
to arbitration panel, no any of my findings almost so year. One, it came out say they had siting permit from the district assembly.
Leave it. Let before you go there. I also took advice from Energy Commission even before I got the AG's opinion, and they were not contrary.
They were not contrary. Say Energy
The-
Commission catch there will say
The
license.
yes, you see, I specifically asked
Yes.
Energy Commission if these people had a license to operate, and they said no. They had denied them a license because the 2 blocks of plants, were 2003, 2004, and 2011, which is against the rules, the registration and regulation rules. So they told me, say, based on that, they would not give them a permit to operate. So Energy Commission, who is the advisor to the ministry, then wrote to me as to why these people cannot be given a license. It finds reflection in their report as well.
In their report as
As
well.
well.
And at the termination letter and so
Yes.
as well.
Ekosiisen
But the
On
point, no,
Asempa
and say,
FM.
in the contract, no, the original contract with GPGC, no, there were condition precedent and condition subsequent. Both ways, into GPGC were more condition precedent and a condition subsequent. Government of Ghana party to the contract, no, yes, we were there was yeah. In issuing out license, no, there were maybe and there was a government of Ghana, for example, and it found expression in the arbitration panel on the report, and say the board that should be set up, which board would approve or more request for license, no, that board was not set up. So why then do you blame the company?
You see, the fact that a new board is not in place, does it mean that government business comes to a halt? I don't think so. Decisions continue to be taken. But before we get there, once you see, after I wrote the letter, even before arbitration, I have left office. I was no longer minister.
Yeah, that I know.
Once I left the ministry, say two for me, number V.
Yes.
Entinya fe na mi kobu kompa he se we nom de no mo ye o agro ne ye you afri ma o kwa waka anwumbi.
Yeah, but before say we be free ministry or now what short termination letter.
Yes.
Before writing the termination letter, no, did you apprise yourself with the state of say be omope siting planner na omanya biana omope license? Where were they in the process?
I
Did
have to rely on the advice of the agencies. Was I supposed to write to the district's assembly to find out if they had the issue? There is an agency, Energy Commission, responsible for issuing licenses.
Yeah, but the Energy Commission doesn't issue siting plan. The district assemblies do.
But the Energy Commission, in order to do its work,
Yes.
goes through the circuit. Is it the minister who then writes to district assemblies to find out someone with no siting plan? No, I beg to differ. Otherwise, I could be chasing every district in this country. I could be chased. Nani paye dear Juma Manono. No, not teho.
Or not teho.
That's not how you run a bureaucracy. Obia wana Juma.
But if I ask you, sir, we were taking a decision to terminate 3 contracts out of many. In the 3 contracts, no, one any GPGC. GPGC also when siting plant, a putty plant be a war. Assembly be jurisdiction. In this case, we are told, say, Katamanso,
yes,
District Assembly. Before the minister write, because again, in the termination letter, no, one key factor is say munya siting plan.
Yes.
To cite your machine.
Because
would it have hurt Sanka or find it out sure so move no money.
Look, the truth be told, you see, apart from Energy Commission's responsibility, there was a lot of discussions going back and forth around.
Okay.
The truth be told is that this was a very murky undertaking. Radio. But after listening to NDC, you see, almost see, certain government officials were given assurances. Amodin, who were those government officials? Name them.
We're giving assurances to the company.
Company.
Yeah.
Say, name those officials. I have written to a company saying, say, I've given you a termination notice. Then certain government officials, nameless, are assuring the company, say, you see, when this thing, and Ghana Habibia Timiliki, when the letter, even before the letter went, somebody from GPGC came to my office. Minino, Abai introduced himself, young, nice-looking gentleman. I was a friend of Manuel Sawyer. He came pleading. Said, Minister Nkebeya, ye free termination.
Ye GPGC free termination.
And I'm saying, on what basis? Okasabe Bri, and I'm catching Ura. Me Yahwang. Cabinet has given me instructions. If I am to vary the instructions, a similar instruction must come from cabinet. Says Sankrofo upon further consideration or whatever, you are me free. Then I can oblige. But I can't. It can't work. That's not how bureaucracies work. It is not my decision. It's the cabinet's decision. So I cannot. Look, Niama Kasabebre Kosu were trying to push this, trying to push that. Arbitration for no. Why is it that they did not name the officials, the government officials who were given assurances? Who are they? Is it even true? So you conclude, say, because some government officials, senior government officials were given assurances, therefore, you come to a certain conclusion without naming those people. I find it very strange.
After the termination letter was given to the companies, and for the purpose of conversation, we will restrict to GPGC. More termination letter, were there further engagement with company reps?
Not by me.
Okay.
Not by me, because then the matter is in the bosom of Attorney General, Ministry of Finance, and the negotiation team. There was negotiation going on. It was not by fiat. Yes, you defer. Yeah. Negotiation team no one trans.
Okay.
Emma penny.
Now, terminated contract, did they also appear before negotiation team? No more terminate your modiano.
Yes.
To do what?
Because you have to also negotiate termination cost.
Okay.
So no.
Okay.
I didn't yes my farmer trouble no. They were invited or your from a money committee no and negotiate your termination. Estimate verifiable cost no. Ebia the Troy verifiable cost are actually.
Yes.
We would bet me about said there be the moment Troy is so because me approve say must spending more than that. So you back and forth.
Okay, you were because at the recommendation they can say cancel you bet you 18 million.
18 million.
In the negotiation it was to do what to reduce 18 million and
no, to find that to the basis say energy commission, the reporters in there, they will do what is called guesstimates.
Yes.
You guesstimates in every negotiation. Sabi say what's you jai wo yere kra mo court to settlement.
That's true.
It's back and forth.
Yes.
Until we know the negotiation is basically to sit down and agree on the terms and parameters of exit. Yes, say we contract no say ni say nti ye twem. Na ye twem a yen yesusu say termination cost no enie. Verifiable termination cost a yen nim no enie. Musumu Asempa na mo kan ho o ebi ano ano no ana da bi o mo anfa we anka ho ebi bia 18 million afi akoye 36 million. Yes. Those are the things.
At what point na sa negotiations ni break here company ni yes after mo arbitration?
Me na me free ministry.
At the time you were not there.
No, I was not in the ministry. A newspaper na me hu say
company ni arbitration.
No, that an award has been made against government.
Oh, okay.
And to me free ministry hono samafu asamu akoso ho minim. So no. It was a newspaper, one of these social media handles, and I mean, arbitration cost awarded, and I tried to follow it, but that me free hono negotiations was going on. A Chrea and Sana make a newspaper, and it was said company said the government was not serious, or was not negotiating in good faith, or was not serious, or something like that, and the company then terminated. Trigger a termination clause in the contract and went to arbitration.
And when should arbitration?
Arbitration report, to be honest with you, okay. I've read parts of it. So no. But what is my own in the matter?
Because the arbitration report, no, for the want of a better word, rubbishes almost all the reasons I will in that termination letter.
Based on
pursuant to advice Attorney General.
Yeah, but is that my personal opinion? Dear mature or letter no. And no, my personal opinion,
no. Attorney General advice on the man.
Yes,
but you are the minister, and the people think you have to take responsibility.
How? Am I writing a personal letter to some company based on the advice that my legal advisors give me? And let's say advice by and I control baby fufro and Asempa and yes, in fact, the question will be identity your mouth legal advice to control baby fufro. Is that acceptable? Me lawyer, me engineer, ain't your fat advisors mount, my advice you discuss to try and understand all the nuances. Fair. Okay, this is how the letter goes. And think my advice in a buy, And let me say, advice ya mudia bay. Mentiasia men peneso. Nama throw different letter from the advice. Different letter from the advice I may culture na samwa bahon. What would be the question? I didn't know legal advisor. Any technical advice amount advice wako churo bibi fufuro mwana nga maybe so obi anambwa can you a bigger issue? Cabinet has advised, Attorney General has advised, Energy Commission has advised that these are the things that you must do. Wo as a person that is where I would bear personal responsibility. Because I deviated
from the AG and the cabinet decision.
Now, when you are in line with the cabinet decision, AG's decision, your technical advisors, which is the Energy Commission, where is your personal liability or responsibility? But
as a minister of state, honorable, because letter no has your name and your signature, make sure termination letter no, which termination letter gives reasons why the contract is being terminated. Those reasons no include second paying any license from the energy.
Where reasons in
from the minister's termination letter.
And
the minister relies on Attorney General advice and cabinet approval.
I am, sometimes, no,
the minister relies on cabinet approval and Attorney General's advice, no?
And yes, and the Energy Commission, who is the, yes. Now, sir, 3 years among particular advice.
Yes.
What is the minister supposed to do? We are one. Who minister? We are one. To say, you will vary the decisions of those so appointed to advise or instruct.
I agree with a bit of the Energy Commission because they were supposed to issue the license to the company. What I am not too sure about, and it's about siting permits now, which is issued by district assemblies. And then what does the Energy Commission do about
the Energy Commission must ask the operator to provide your siting license or permit. You must provide it, and it goes into them issuing you with a license.
With a license, which license had not been issued.
Yes, because the question is whether GPGC formally made an application, and whether the Energy Commission asked them to provide relevant documentation. Those I will not know.
Okay.
And I should not know.
Okay.
Okay. It is a clear then subject to investigation. But as a matter of regular process and procedure, am I supposed to ask Energy Commission, hey, and Crawford, or the document we have, or the letter we have? Is that
on plants now they old, no, and also advice from the Energy Commission.
Yes,
plants na dada.
Some inspect.
Or more technical regulators.
Maybe kojina plant no one. The Ekoso. Energy Commission what experts are. Omubetimi are inspecting. Documentation and the physical plant. For example, you are supposed to have, they call it heat rate. Mimi kojina webedeme heat rate. So you rely. That's why they are technical advisors. You rely on the advice. You make a request, and you rely on the advice that is given you as good advice, as bona fide advice.
We are finance person. We be my final question because of time. We are finance person, and I want to believe say about appreciation of the numbers. Cost benefit analysis you might even appreciate it better than Energy Commission.
That is not true. Energy Commission has a lot of econometricians who are better than me.
That's fair. But because of war, little appreciation,
yes, I have a good appreciation.
Fantastic of numbers. Adentina, the argument about excess capacity near the I'm finding the expression in the termination letter.
Why should it?
Why shouldn't it?
Because you see, the whole exercise, it's about cutting down excess capacity.
Okay.
That's the whole essence of the whole exercise. When you write those termination letters, you are not going to say, because we want to reduce excess capacity, this, that, unnecessary. What you want to tell the company, the justification for termination, based on the
terms of the agreement.
Yes, but to go and say government policy is to reduce excess capacity, it's not relevant at all. It is not relevant.
With the benefit of hindsight, any the SCCC arbitration ruling ABBA any day, do you still stand one by the cabinet decision which you agreed with, by the Attorney General's advice which you agreed with, by Energy Commission experts and advice which you also agreed with? Still, do you still stand by that?
Given all that I know, I will stand by those decisions.
Even after the arbitration panel.
As for arbitration, Obi, before. Yentrance ye. One African country a wako arbitration a winida. Tell me. Third world countries bay and now arbitration a winida. I was of the opinion when we were coming into government that we should take all these international arbitration clauses out of our contracts. Yanko be winida. South America. Africa. Tell me third world countries bay and now call international arbitration with London awene. Look, mommy any now. What is international arbitration? They don't trust your legal systems. They don't trust your warranties and representations. If they don't trust our legal system, let us improve our legal system.
Yeah, but in this specific arbitration, Honorable, Ghana had a rep on the panel.
Master,
Professor Fiajo is no mean, and he himself ruled against all arguments.
You see, Pacho, I'm not going to impugn the integrity of anybody.
Okay.
But the structure of arbitration has never favored any third world country.
Even when you have a rep?
It doesn't matter. If you listen to Malcolm X.
Yeah, Malcolm X.
He says, there's the house nigger and the field nigger. And when the master is sick, the house nigger goes to the field to the master and says, Master, we sick? Master no yare no. The house nigger will go to the master and ask him, Master, we sick? Not are you sick? We. So the Americans what I say. Look, say if there is an issue with our judicial system, let us improve our judicial system so that it can command the confidence and respect of all. If it is a matter of risk analysis, Master, every investor must take and accept risk. So when timid risk, now you go away. Congo DR. A lot of these companies operate in Congo DR. Congo DR, they know. This is just a way of making. Look, when I became minister, I was insistent to say we should examine all the liquidity and security instruments and demand guarantees. I'll give you one specific example. On car power, liquidity and security guarantees are near the top HFO. I looked at it and said, what is this? I was able to get them to reduce the cost by $100 million. Why? Because I understood what was going on. That is the nature, that has been the nature of my business for 25 years. So I sat with them and negotiated. And yet, say we want this and this out. So no, if an investor into this country cannot take risk, then they shouldn't be here.
Sir, arbitration would your position have been same?
No. I have never supported international arbitration anytime, anywhere.
Even if it had gone in our favor.
Look, at the end of the day, it is the structure and its processes I'm condemning or I'm not in agreement with. Oh, Africa for no, and a third world country generally, they be any complaining. They be any complaining. And so the same things near Kosuye. If you keep on doing the same things the same way, you don't get different results. But you see, in this matter, I followed cabinet instructions to the letter. I did not deviate. Secondly, when this matter was going to arbitration, I was no longer the minister. Intermediate woman saying, and yes, a Jakon did not follow the advice of cabinet, the instructions of cabinet, the advice of Attorney General, and the advice of Energy Commissioner. And then Ankayasamu.
Into my what my takeaway will be say cabinet, Attorney General didn't do enough due diligence before the recommendations they gave.
I will not come to that conclusion.
Because that's what the arbitration panel came to.
That is what the arbitration panel is saying. They have a right. judge, you call court near my judgment. Huh? Yama judgment. Do you agree? Do you, if you may not even agree with the judgment. Huh?
Yes.
You may not agree with it, but that's a judgment. That doesn't mean say it changes your opinion on agreement or disagreement. Look, I have been a banker, and not. I have been a serious banker for 25 years. Worked with integrity.
Asempa FM.
If you go to the Bank of New York in the 25 years, never did I have an audit violation, both in the city of New York, the state of New York, and Securities and Exchange Commission. Even though I was an ex-signatory, 25 years, never a violation. And to say, and your way, and I'm going home.
Ekosiisen
I stand
On
not
Asempa
to
FM.
gain nothing from this matter. Senka mi po bia bunanka kwesi brunina me buno. I said me brother-in-law, my late brother-in-law na or your lawyer of France. And a Ghana ni bi akwaji sa payment si a friend say dole.
Yes.
Any action. And my brother-in-law Kusi, late Kusi, lawyer Kusi, only could defend no. No, so over. Oh, how home. Saying kami per juma paya kami tena hinsan twin soya. Ko per juma paya. I had the ambassador 25 years at the Bank of New York. I did not soil my name. Right? It stands no reason where there's not even a personal gain to say me be yadia ensem fata. Not on my life.
Honorable, what I would do is I wish we had more time to deal with some other issues, but we'll get you back in studio, time permit, and anyone so or schedule the city, and then we have conversation around some other issues. I'm for the messages by Semi Musao. Ebiso Mate say, hey, Honorable Jakon, yes, some time ago you had intention to be president of this country. Do you still have that intention? All of those questions, no, but we'll find another time.
Nimre baba. Ebia ne nimre. Uza. Yo. Me so me damwasi bebre for your time and for the opportunity to speak to the good people of this country.
Right. Yeah, that's it. I mean, sure. Ekosiisen On Asempa FM. We would have to make way for our sports team to take over. England and Germany. And on 7 p.m. And yes, is here. England and sorry, I'm a sports team that take you over. England and Germany. In 5 minutes, that game would be on. Stay with us. Good evening.